This is Gerald Alston of the Manhattans, and I love listening to Gospel Jazz Connection with D Nice and Miss M. Well, hello city, hello world, and welcome to another installation of the Gospel Jazz Connection. This is D Nice. How you doing? And I have with me Miss M today on the microphone in the studio. So let's say hello to Miss M.
Hello out there. I missed you guys. I've been gone for a minute.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you back. It's a good thing. We got a great show. We just heard the drop from our boy. We're going to try to pull up some of his music today and see what he's been up to, Gerald Alston. So meantime, in between time, how you been? What's good on the jazz scene?
I've been busy. I've been traveling. I've been on the road. I've been doing all kinds of things. And, this is festival season, too, so all that's going on, too. And, I like to be active and involved and doing stuff.
I know you do. So what's going on with some of the jazz festivals that you've been to and some of the upcoming ones? I think they got the Long Beach Jazz Festival coming up.
Yeah, the Long Beach Jazz Festival starts tonight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Jerry Butler is going to be performing tonight. And then it's tomorrow, and it's also on Sunday all day long.
Wow.
It's going to be hot out there.
Yeah, but it's going to be a great lineup. So, you can't beat the lineup. Sometimes you got to take the heat. It's like the good with the bad.
That's right.
And it's nothing like getting some great music.
Then there's another jazz concert coming up next weekend at the Hollywood Bowl on Sunday. It's called Smooth Summer Breeze.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's going to be hot too.
Some people on that lineup?
Dave Cos is actually in that one. Dave Cos and Friends.
Really? Okay, got you. Yeah, he always does a great concert series. Mm-hmm. And, so I look forward to seeing that one there. So, meantime, between time, it's that time when the kids are going back to school.
Yes.
Do we applaud that, or do we kind of like...
I do.
Well, how many people are you in charge of this time? That depends on what it is.
0 this time.
Okay, so, but you still have your 2 granddaughters, right?
I still have them.
Right.
I help when I can.
Right, I got you.
But I'm not the typical grandmother. I do not babysit.
What's wrong with that?
No, that's a bad thing.
Oh, really?
I did my time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So when you said you did your time, what are you talking about? How many times you done your time?
Yeah, I have 5 kids, so I tell them, I did my time. Now you guys have kids. You take care of your own kids.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
But, it's good being a grandparent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It has its good points because most of my grandkids, they're doing okay. They're doing good in school. I have a couple of them that are doing college half the time and high school the other half. And they're making good grades, and they're actually shopping colleges. In fact, my 9-year-old granddaughter, she told me a few weeks ago, she says, Grandma, she says, I'm looking around for different colleges that I can attend now. She says, I want to start filling out my applications, and I'm getting everything together.
Your 9-year-old?
At 9 years old.
Oh, man, that's just like too much on it, huh?
Yes.
So who's her example? Who's she been watching? She got family members that really are into it or something?
Well, yeah, her sister, she is going into her 2nd year at the University of San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, she's doing good. So she had that as an example when she watched her filling out the applications and doing all the travel tours to go check out the colleges. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. I just know my grandson, he was in here last week, and he just turned 9. He's getting ready to go back to school, and he's not excited, but I'm more excited that he's excited. Mm-hmm. Because that means I won't have to basically stay on him as much. Have you done your homework? Sure. How's everything going in school? Are you listening to your teachers? Are you doing your, you bringing home what you need to do your assignments? Mm-hmm. And that's always a good thing when you don't have to babysit them. You know what I'm saying? They've got to find that level of excellence within themselves, yes, to where they drive themselves to want to do things they know they've got to do to graduate. And then, like I said, he's always going to have that basketball knowledge. So that's good. I can't wait until he starts the basketball season again, and I'll really be excited when he starts getting the formal knowledge on how to play basketball.
Yes.
He's got that natural ability. And you were there at his final tournament when they were, and the dude has got so much basketball knowledge and so much skill that he pretty much taught himself to be. You know what I'm saying? Who now is doing 3 points, 50% 3-pointer on a normal court that the NBA is working on. And I don't know how many NBA players getting paid are 50% free throw shooters and from the 3-point line. And he's
like
doing
Shaq. Oh, did I say that?
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, I concur with that. But I'm just saying, well, he can't even shoot free throws. So, I mean, what can we say? We love you, Shaq, but doggone, man. Go back to the court on weekends or something like that. But, yeah, it's just when you find somebody with that gift and he's got that fast break, he ain't like the other kids on it that just kind of saunter down the court. Every time he gets there, it's always a fast break and the wraparound passes and the no-look passes that Magic does. And he's just got it down pat. It's so natural for him.
He does.
But it's scary because he's not had that formal training that they usually give when they're going through. So there'll come a time when he's actually in a program that, that's what they do.
Yeah, because at USC and also at UCLA, they offer those programs
camps
for the kids. They have the camps during the summertime. It would be great to put him in one of those.
Yeah, I think this year I'm going to put him in the camp, and his grandmother really hasn't seen him play. I was a skeptic because I don't believe fat meat is greasy. But when I was able to go and watch his games all the way down to the finals, then I was shocked because I wouldn't have thought that he could. I mean, not that I wasn't a great player when I was doing it, but I just didn't go on to the NFL, the NBA, or when I was playing football in the NFL. So when you don't go that level, you just figure, hey, you know what, maybe they made luck into something, but you're not really just putting 100% in behind that. So when I saw him play and the intensity he plays with, I'm like, man, this dude is on point. So, I know that I've got to go ahead and just depend on, finding the time to do the things like the basketball camps and things that you suggested. And so he can get a formal training on what it technically is all about. Not the inner skills. But inner skills, sometimes you get the technical knowledge and they don't have the inner skills and they don't know how to play in the long run. But he's got that natural skill.
So and when he turns 16, he can also go to Magic Johnson's camp. He has one.
I'm scared of him. He's just playing and shooting and running and doing passing like this at 9. Just turned 9. Last month. So when he was playing actively and doing all that, he was 8 years old, man, doing it. But see, because you've got granddaughters that are playing basketball that are high in their game. High in their game.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many playing ball now?
I have actually 5 that are playing ball. Wow. All girls.
Wow. Wow.
I said, WNBA, here we come.
And doing and ready for scholarships, too. I mean, on that level, for scholarships.
Yeah, they're keeping up with their grades. They're like 5.0, 4.0, grade point averages. They're top of their game at school playing basketball.
Right.
Plus, they're on, I forget what do you call those teams when they're on the road? And they
those traveling teams?
They're on the traveling teams, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes,
and my youngest one, the 9-year-old, that'll be my 6th one. She's getting ready to get on a travel team right now. And she's having tournaments and different things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, when you get them involved in sports, that's a good thing for that discipline and that teamwork and camaraderie that comes with that one there. But when you get them when they got that natural skill and then they're learning it and they're able to not only get a scholarship scholastically, but a scholarship academically, oh, dude. And then you said you got 6 of yours coming like that.
Yeah,
that's almost all of them, isn't it?
Half of them.
Wow. Well, we're going to have a prize treat for you today because we're getting ready to get in Dr. Maxey here. And he's going to join us with some information that we need to know that is good for all of us. So, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about him for a while. You've heard him on the show, and he has been such a blessing in our community, bringing health, wealth, and happiness to our community. And now he's back with us some more with a new technology that he's working with. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to our platform today, Dr. Randall Maxey. Dr. Maxey, how you doing?
I'm doing extremely well, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate you allowing me to share your platform with you for a few minutes.
Okay. So
I'm doing something very special today. I'd like to just mention. I know it's nepotism, but I'm in San Francisco. My baby daughter just had a white coat ceremony. She's going to medical school at UCSF, and this was the proudest daddy day I've had in my life.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. So you said you're doing the Daddy Day?
Yep. Well, she got her white coat today, so we went to the ceremony at UCSF, which is one of the 3 best medical schools in the world. And it's a tie between them, Harvard, and Stanford. So they are really a good school. And met a lot of potential colleagues, got an invitation. I'll probably come up here and do some teaching too. But what I wanted to talk about is a new venture that me and some of my partners are doing called, we're doing a new kind of medicine, regenerative medicine. And we use stem cells, we do platelet-rich plasma, and we can actually heal things like arthritis. We can heal meniscal tears in the knee, skateboard injuries. We can deal with hips, severe arthritis in the hips, arthritis in any of the joints, including the fingers, ankles, and feet. And in many cases, we can prevent you from having to have a new artificial knee placed in at $100,000+. We also are going to be dealing with limb salvage. You see many diabetics not walking around because they have amputations of one leg or one foot. And in many cases, we can, through the application of stem cells and platelet-rich plasma, avoid that type of operation being done on people in our communities. In addition, for older people who happen to be in convalescent homes, have had long hospitalization, they develop pressure sores, pressure ulcers, bed sores, and those can lead to severe infections and even death. And we also have surgeons and podiatrists who can deal with that. So we're very excited with it. We know that stem cells, they don't cure everything, but we do know they've opened some new doors in medicine, curative things. We're going to be looking at its effects on Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease. I'm going to University of Irvine next week to look at a program that can help reverse diabetes by targeting beta cells in the pancreas. So it's very exciting, Brother Knight. It's exciting, and I'm in my old age. I'm very excited about what I can do in medicine now.
Well, I appreciate you sharing with us, but like I said, I'm going to give you the whole platform now, and let's talk a little bit about it, because what we're missing here is so much has been talked about in the other neighborhoods as far as what the stem cell scenario is all about, but we haven't had that opportunity to be able to research it because nobody's doing it in our neighborhood. And we'd like to thank you for being that innovator pioneer that says, you know what, we too need to stay healthy, and here's some ways I can help. So I'm going to give you the platform, and just you got the mic. Just do what you need to do for the next 20 minutes or so, and just help us to walk us through what is stem cell, what are the benefits, and let us know how you're there for us so that we can hook up with you afterwards. So I'm just going to get off the mic and let you do your thing, okay, Doc?
Very good, thank you. Well, first of all, a stem cell is an immortal cell. When you're born, you have stem cells. That allows you to develop the various organs in your body from the time that you're an embryo. As we get older, we still have stem cells, but they are less than we have. So when you're 30 years old, you have more stem cells than when you're 50 years old. And when you're 50, you have more than when you're 75 years old. But they're still there. Now, I use the word immortal in the sense that stem cells don't die. I won't get into the theological aspects of immortality, but stem cells are immortal. And they are there. They're what allows you to heal. When there's a part of your body that's injured, stem cells go there. They're induced by enzymes, kinases, growth factors, and they heal. Now, the other kind of immortal cell, the bad immortal cell, is a cancer cell. And a cancer cell doesn't die, doesn't turn off, and it can absolutely kill you. Now, a stem cell, after it does its work, it goes to sleep. and it wakes up when it's called upon. So the way we use those cells, we activate them. So we draw your own blood, and we spin it down, and we take off the segment of it that's on top, the so-called buffy coat, and it has stem cells in it. It also has growth hormones and kinins and enzymes in it that help to heal. We can inject that into the affected part of your body. Now, just to let people know why this is popular, everybody knows who Kobe Bryant is. And Kobe probably makes $1 million a night playing basketball. And he sprained his ankle. You think they're going to let him be out for a whole week because he got a sprained ankle? No. They send him to a doctor. He draws his blood. He injects the stem cells that are in platelet-rich plasma, and they accelerate the healing. So 3 or 4 days later or a week later, instead of a month later, he's back on the court making that $1 million a night. So this is something that's tried and true. Now, because of the politics of Medicare and insurance companies and people not wanting to pay, they still deem this as experimental. But we can tell you from sports medicine, and I've had the personal experience of having it done to me, it's something that works. Unfortunately, the insurance companies, Medicare, does not pay for it. But we have a price structure that allows the average person to pay for it. We also have arrangements where you can pay over time. And it's something that's very important. Let me just explain the various types of stem cell availability. It's illegal to use anything that's embryonic. So nobody does that in the United States. However, through cord blood, which is blood that's in the umbilical cord when a baby is born, through the placenta, which is produced by the mother in childbirth, there is the presence of stem cells. And it's like a blood transfusion. It's purified, verified that it has no disease in it. They concentrate it, and we can buy that. They send it to us overnight, and that can be injected. The typical injection is 30 million stem cells. The other type of stem cells, there's a high concentration of stem cells in fat. So we can do a liposuction and spin those down and extract the stem cells in that lipid fraction of your body, run it through a microfilter, and inject that systemically or in the affected part. The other kind that I believe is one of the best is platelet-rich plasma. By concentrating the platelets in your blood, it allows us to, again, we call it an autologous infusion. It's your own blood. It's not coming from anybody else. It doesn't have to be typed. You don't have to worry about having anybody else's problem. It's yours. And we can put that into your knee. We can put that into your ankle, into your hip, into your fingers, and we can deal with some of the effects of arthritis. Now, this is a treatment for osteoarthritis, not rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an immune disease, but we're talking about the osteoarthritis that comes from inflammatory reactions. Many people go to pain doctors, and they end up getting put on these steroids, cortisone shots, etc. Or they go and get oxycodone, Norco, and they end up with the problem of being hooked or addicted to those drugs. And they don't do anything. They're temporary pain relief. But we can actually affect a healing situation, rebuild your meniscus in your knees, rebuild cartilage, and we also do a vigorous program of physical therapy. We have our own physical therapist, which is Charmaine, and she works with us quite diligently. We also have certified pain doctors that work with us for the management of that. We're also able to solve the pain in back. That's a big problem. Neck, arthritis, displaced vertebrae. We also are able to do facet blocks. I was talking with my new associate, Dr. Minneke, who trained at Yale and Harvard as well as at UCLA, and he does a radio frequency operation, which is not really an operation, but he is able to disable a nerve that's causing that pain because it's being pressed upon by a vertebra. So there are a lot of moving parts to this, no pun intended, but we believe we can bring this type of thing and make you have so-called Beverly Hills services in Inglewood. And the exciting thing about it, we hope to bring this through our churches so we can affect economic development there and help them with their mission as well. Mr. Nice, as you know, I'm opening up a new office next week at 447 North Prairie, the big yellow house, and we're going to be doing this type of procedure in there starting this Tuesday.
I saw the building. I'm very impressed, man. It looked like a party spot when I first saw it, but it looks like it's going to be a different kind of party, huh?
It's a different kind of party. If you come over there, I might buy you a cup of tea.
Okay. I'll be there.
I'm wondering if I have been diligent in my explanation, or there's some questions that might come to your mind about how this is done.
Dr. Maxey, hello, this is Ms. M. And I have a question for you. In the stem cell, does it work on face? Like if you needed to get dark spots removed from your face or regenerate your face, would that help?
It does. There's something called I almost hate the name of it. There's something called a vampire facial. And it does that. We take that same platelet-rich plasma, we draw your blood, we spin it down, we extract the platelet-rich part, we put a numbing cream on the face, we cleanse it antiseptically, and then use a micropuncture wand. The esthetician or dermatologist, and we're meeting with a very famous dermatologist next week, Dr. Glenn, and she uses that wand to put those stem cells right in your layer below your epidermis. And you can see some of the wrinkles moving at that time, removing themselves. It will also get rid of those dark spots and make you look like the famous actress you are.
I like that you said that. I'm going to have to make an appointment there.
We call it that because when you put that plasma on your face, it makes it look like a horror movie for a few minutes. But, that's what it is. That same thing, that same procedure can be used to grow hair in male pattern baldness or even female baldness. It will do that, and it grows real hair that is your own. It's not false. It's not transplanting any hair in your head, but it actually grows your hair. We can do that. So we started out doing knees for osteoarthritis of the knees. We've been doing hips just on Wednesday. We did a young medical student's neck, and we are doing his arm, his rotator cuff, and we're going to do next week some facet blocks to get rid of the back pain that he has from auto accidents. So I'm glad you asked that question. That vampire facial is very popular with the ladies. I don't know if I'm so handsome I may get it myself. I don't know.
Yeah, some of these people are going to love you just on the fact that you're bringing something for the hair. Because, I've been looking at these advertisements on TV for so long, Bosley and some of the other. They're asking for not a new car anymore, but they're asking for a home in Beverly Hills for the price of doing hair growth. And you're talking about this is something that can be done through the stem cell research surgery. Man, do you know how many people you're going to make happy because of that?
Oh, yeah. I know what the prices are. And what we've been able to do is work with some people that we know and get the price down where it's affordable. There's another friend that has developed a foundation that can maybe cover some of the costs, if not all of the costs, for people who just don't have any funds. But there is going to be a price, but we think we're going to make it as affordable as possible. So we'll have that all worked out this week. That's important. And I want people to come to the office and feel like they couldn't have found anything better, whether it's Brentwood or Beverly Hills or Malibu. We're going to bring that service to our people.
And I appreciate that, man, because nobody could have done it better, man. It's just your bedside manner and everything about you, man. We go way back, you know what I'm saying, like rice and beans. But it's just been a blessing, man, to see that you've been able to stay firm. I think at one time you talked about retiring, and I think you even snuck away for a moment, although that was short-lived, if I come to remember it, that you did step away for a second, but it probably was only a second, and now you're back larger than ever and still doing the work of the Lord. So, man, I appreciate you doing what you do, my man.
Well, I enjoy it. I believe it is I know it is my God-given mission. And he wouldn't let me get away with retiring and going fishing every day. So I came back a year ago, 1 day a week. Now I'm working 5 days a week, but I'm having more fun than I've had in my recent life. And I just love the patients that I work with, you know?
Right.
And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to look at this new building. I mean, like I said, I saw it from the outside. I mean, I've been watching them as they've been building over there because you're between Dr. Rutledge's office and the girls' school, the private Catholic school over at St. Mary. And I'm like, okay, whoever's putting that house up, man, is not playing because they've been building. It seems like they've been building that house for a couple of years. And then when I came by and saw it finishing, you said, "Oh man, guess where I'm at now?" I was like, I wouldn't have expected anything else of you, man. I'm telling you, I'm for real. I'm like, okay, you got enough space to dance up in there, partner.
They did it real nice. It's got marble floors in it. I'm so happy with it. And so I'm not retired, and I think they're going to have to drag me out kicking and screaming. I'm having a good time. So I'm very interested in what we're going to do there. We're going to be doing our practice of regenerative medicine in the daytime, say from 9 to 6. And in the evening, probably in a few months, we're going to start having it open for urgent care, say from 6 to 12 or 6 to 1, whatever the traffic merits. So that will be a good resource for the city. We won't be doing emergencies. We'll be doing urgent things, whether you fall and hurt your hand or wrist or have a bad cold or have pneumonia. We'll be able to treat all of that. And they'll be run by certified emergency trained doctors. But we won't be treating major gunshot wounds or anything that's like that. For that, you need a major hospital. And there's one down the street. But that's going to be another community service. And the interesting thing that we're going to do, Mr. Nice, is that some of the local churches will own equity in that. And we're going to talk about that on one of our upcoming shows on how we can put generational wealth back in our community. Our people spend more than $3.5 billion a year in Southern California on health care, and none of that money comes back to our community to take care of our community needs. So we want to make sure that we put something back, and that's how this whole thing is being built. So I hope in the near future you let me talk about that.
You know what? I'd be very pleased to have you talk about these things, man, because you know you've been a front runner of this place for a long time. When I came into the Inglewood scenario, you were already an established part of the atmosphere, man, and you were there with me when I went through my little crisis situation. You know what I'm saying? Too much of that catering going on, doing craft services, and I was always depending on the sugar aspect to keep me going. And that almost took me out through the diabetic route, you know what I'm saying? So you were there with me through that one there, and now I can thank God that I went through that one, and I reversed that. So, you know what I'm saying? I've got friends in high places, and it's good to have you one of those. And so I look forward to being able to open up the eyes of the community, man, to let them know that, dude, you don't have to leave like you used to tell me, dude, because, you know, I started out over at Cedars, and you're like, man, you don't have to leave the community to get quality service, man. You know, you can die behind the knife of Beverly Hills or Pacific Palisades, just like you can in our neighborhood too. So it's finding somebody that you can trust and believe that will let God as far as when it's down to surgery or as far as medical decisions, let God work with a person and through a person, and then he'll send you to the right person to go to. Anything you ask him, he's going to make sure as your father, he's going to put you in touch with. So if you ask him for a good doctor, then he's going to show you where to go, and it's generally going to, I'm telling you all now, it's going to go to Dr. Maxey's door. That's what it's going to be, because he's the man. He's been studying. And Dr. Maxey, look here. I was able to catch your resume the other day because we're working on another project, too. And I looked at it, as extensive as your resume is, it's scary. And I got to be honest, it's scary. Because you are like in the who's who of medicine. And so on every board, I mean, major, not just in our community, but I mean overall medical. And I was like, come on now. So I really appreciate having somebody like yourself involved in what we're doing here. And, of course, you're going to have time to talk about what you do. Now, for those that are not knowing, can you take some time to give addresses and how to hook up with you so they can get started with getting with you?
Sure. My office phone number is 310-680-1810. 310-680-1810. My fax number is 310-680-1811. Now, I'm in San Francisco until Sunday, but we will be open bright and early Monday morning. We are accepting patients and appointments, and be glad to talk to anyone there. The address is 447 North Prairie, Inglewood, California, 90301, and that is in the block between Grace Street and Florence. And it's a big yellow house. I got to think of a name. Is it yellow or is it gold? But it's a beautiful building, and we will be set up to receive patients as of this Tuesday. So if anybody wants to call, we'll be answering the phones as early as Monday morning. This weekend, I'm on a family mission, and I will be there. I want to say one thing that I learned today. One of the deans that is head of family practice up here in San Francisco said something beautiful. He said anytime he sees a patient, he sees that patient as if that patient is a poem, and he listens to that patient. He listens to his body. He observes his body, and everybody has their own poetry. And he tries to buy into the needs and expressions of that poetry in order to take care of that patient in a very specific and precise way. And I thought that was a good way to look at a patient. It's not just somebody walking in that represents a dollar bill, but he represents a human. And another friend of mine has a saying that fits into that. Nobody knows or nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's what we're definitely going to put on the front of our agenda at this new office.
Dr. Maxey, that statement you just made, that really touched me because I'm a firm believer that you should go to your own culture of people sometimes for treatment because a lot of times they specialize in different cultures. And a lot of times a doctor in another culture may miss something in my culture because they haven't specialized in it. So I try to encourage all of my friends and family to go to our own so they can take care of us.
Yeah. Now, I must say, and I do agree with you 200%, but there are a lot of doctors who don't belong to a particular ethnic or cultural group who are what we call culturally and clinically competent. There are some. Now, not many, but there are some, and I've met them. And so in our practice, we want to be able to take care of not only Americans of African descent, we want to be able to take care of Asians, we want to be able to take care of Europeans. Now, I don't know about green people. I haven't studied much on green people. But since there's so much going on in space, maybe we better figure that out real quick. But we try to be not only clinically competent, but we study what diseases happen, what metabolic processes happen in various ethnic groups. We're not all equal. our insides are different. Our enzymes are different. The way we metabolize drugs and medications is different. The disease processes that affect us are different. So we have to be familiar with all of that. If I'm going to take care of a Chinese patient, then I need to do some study of the idiosyncrasies of the Chinese physiology, and we try to do that. So, again, we're excited, and I invite you to come see it as soon as possible.
I appreciate you, Dr. Maxey. So, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm going to call that the Gold House, the Gold Palace. And that's where you can go there, and, you know what I'm saying, you get even when you're in your golden years, like a lot of folks are in the neighborhood, they can find that gold, whether it's in the spiritual aspect, whether it's in the physical aspect, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about, man. So to me, that's the Gold Palace right there. And I appreciate you for coming down. I look forward to you being a part of our team anytime you want to, man. Like I said, our house is your house, and I'm going to make your house my house, you know. So thanks for being on. And this is the Gospel Jazz Connection. You just heard from Dr. Randall Maxey. Dr. Maxey, thanks a lot.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, please.
Can I say one thing?
Please.
I like the gold. I'm afraid of the palace because I want people to know that they can afford to come. If you say palace, it might scare some people.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not set in stone. We can always call it the Gold House, you know what I'm saying? But House of Gold or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bring some, get some, you know? That's what it's all about. You got to get some now, but you can always bring some, but that's all good. So, Dr. Maxey, thanks for being there, man. As soon as you be safe, man. When you get back in, man, we got to get your face in the place inside here and just keep it going, all right?
All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
God bless. Well, Miss M, that was good. That was a good little conversation, huh?
Yes, it was.
I just was really just so pleased to be able to talk to somebody who's an innovator, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And you know, his resume it shocked me.
It does.
I mean, I shouldn't say it like that, knowing him, but I mean, he was he was over major. Medical boards.
Yeah.
And then he came up with founding an integrated board for people of color.
Yeah.
African American. I mean, I was like, dude, really? I mean, you're on that level of that. That's that level.
Because he's humble.
Yeah, and he does. He gives himself real humble. You would know it. And I was like,
you wouldn't.
Are you kidding me? But it's a blessing to have somebody like Dr. Maxey on point and on our team. So we're blessed. You know what? I'm just sitting here because we're going to get a call in a minute from our girl, Makita. She's back east doing her thing. So I want to play one of her songs right now. How's that sound? And this is, I know she would be one. Okay, yes. Because she was back there working with some of her sisters and looking out after some of her people. So we're going to start out with Sisters right now.
Oh, yeah,
how's that one there? That's one of your favorites? You like that one?
So
let me see. Let me make sure that I'm on the right one because I don't want to. Sister. Okay, so let's. Yep. Nisha Shanae, and who else was that? And Larland and Nisha Shanae featuring them. And this is Makita from her Return CD, and this one is called Sisters on KTYM. Sit back, relax, and watch with your ears.
Stand together, gonna make it. No. tell you, when I did everything to fulfill my dreams, you were always there just believing in me. You said, girl, you gotta believe. Now look at me, it don't matter what we're going through. I get up on my knees and I come to you. Come to you. We're still together, gonna make it too. But nobody but my sister. My sister. Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. Even when you tell me that's alright. That's alright. Gonna keep this thing tight. But nobody but my sister. Nobody but my sister. Yeah. Listen to me, Tiffany. Oh, yeah. Remember the time when I chose the wrong man? You did everything you could to understand. Stayed right by my side. You let me know everything's alright. Sister girl, I came to remind you. Oh, yeah. Remember the time I almost lost my home? Seemed like all I had was about to be gone. Your clothes are my clothes, your shoes are my shoes. No matter what we lost, we always had food. We're gonna make it. Nobody but my sister. Nobody but you, girl. Sometimes I'm right. Even when I'm wrong, tell me that's alright. It's alright. Yeah. Nobody. Yeah. Come on, yeah. Sing it for me, say, oh, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. You better sing, girl.
Girl, you better sing that song.
Oh, my goodness. She's Tiffany Lang, ladies and gentlemen. You better understand. No, Nisa Shanae and Marilyn. I can't wait to put this on my resume. Thank you very much.
You know that.
Now, remember I told you, your clothes is going to be my clothes. Your shoes is going to be mine. Okay. We're just going to swip and swap. And that's what it's about, my girls. Keep your head up. That's how we do it. Stay encouraged. Keep it positive. Oh, yeah. For the Father. For the Son. And for the Holy Ghost. 3 in 1. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's for Mama Nim, Auntie Nim, Cousin Nim, Grandma Nim, all your ladies.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. You better sing.
For the ladies. My sister. My sister. Yo.
You know what? The lady you're hearing right now is Makita. And although she's not in the studio today, she's graced us by being on the phone with us today. So we're just going to bring her up right now. And here she is. Miss Makita, how you doing?
I am so good.
Oh, we good. Monica's in here. One of your sisters.
Hey there.
Hi, y'all. How are you?
I miss you.
I miss you too.
Okay, but like I said, we look forward. We just had Dr. Maxey here in the background. So why don't you tell us a little bit, take about 5 minutes or so and talk about a little bit about that East Coast swing. I know you're doing some things, and I'm going to get up off this mic and just let you take over the mic for about 5 minutes or so. So just kind of bless us with some stuff, okay?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, In the background, you're listening to the songs from Miss Makita. And this is from her Return CD, and this particular cut is Fly Away. No? Yeah, Fly Away. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Miss Makita.
Well, first of all, I miss you guys so much, and I'm so glad I was able to just take a pause and call you, because I miss you guys, and I'm so glad that Dr. Maxie, my heart is in the building. I'm coming to see you when I get home, because I have had a stressful 2 months, and I really need to see Dr. Maxie. I feel like that song, Fly Away, that's what that song is, such a true, the song is true. That song is just about when you just deal with so much in life and you feel like giving up. You feel like just saying enough is enough, but you know that the Most High has more for you to do, so you need to just fall back and be still and know that He is God, and He has it, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like. Just buried 2 of my dearest friends, and then one of my childhood best friends just left the earth 2 nights ago. So this has just been a crazy time, but the blessing is I'm home in Jersey because my brother is getting married tomorrow. So, and I'm in his wedding. So I got some upswing for tomorrow. So I'm glad that I can be with my siblings and love on them and get love going, because I need that rejuvenation. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, every song that you could possibly play, D, is living water. I've lived every word that you hear me sing. Those words are living. It is a well in my belly, and that's why it flows so organically. It wasn't something that I had to figure out. Fly Away was written in a matter of minutes because it was a prayer. It was really how I felt at the time. So, yeah, I'm grateful for every trial and every tribulation, because the Father said, many are the affliction of the righteous, but I will deliver you out of them all. And that's what I hold on to. I already know no matter if I'm going through it, I'm coming out on the other side with a lesson learned, and I'm definitely coming out stronger than I was when I came in. And I pray that if I can say anything to edify anybody that's going through a great trial right now, because God knows I am, that if He brings you to it, He's going to bring you through it. And you'll be all the more better. But you have to see your victory in the midst of it. You got to praise in the midst of it. You got to be thankful in the midst of it. And we also got to align ourselves up to do the right thing for what we need to do to heal. That's why I love that we can call on our doctor so he can tell me, put this down, put that down, don't eat this, don't eat that, so that I can get my life right, because your faith has to have an action. You can't just believe. You got to do the work. You feel me, Brother D? You feel me, Lady M?
Yes, we feel you, and we're right there with you, because like I said, I know it's been kind of crazy over this last couple of weeks, and it's hard when you're on the outside looking in, and this song we're listening to now, No Greater Love, you were able to sing this at a seminar we went to with Dr. Max. He had his last seminar and women's conference, and you did it a cappella, and it was a blessing because the track wasn't working, nothing was working, but you had to sing it a cappella. And that's when you did, you were able to, man, it just moved the whole building. And that's what it's all about, And so to hear you going through the journey and being able to talk to young ladies and let them know, hey, you know what? No matter what you're going through, there's another way to get out the other side. And I appreciate that you're able to take these negative surroundings of life and turn them into positive reinforcements, even with your television show, because you do a weekly television show, and we're going to let people know about that too. That's on AT&T Uverse 90, Channel 99, and also on Channel 36 on Spectrum. And it's just that you're able to talk about different relationships that you've gone through in all perspectives. So, saying God He puts together people in the right time, in the right place for the right message. And right now it's your time. So like I was able to, kind of just say, you know what, there's a lot of craziness going on in your life right now, but let's stop and say, what do you think God's saying to you in this one here? Because like I said, if you're seeing a lot of people that are just saying transcending, then you've got to look at maybe he's saying something to you to make sure that you don't do that. Because, you got people here that would just basically wouldn't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? If you're going, so you got to do what you need to do. And so, it's just a blessing. So that's why I'm glad you're here to talk to us today. And like I said, I'm just, we got like about 10 minutes left in the show. And I'm basically just letting you just have that and just do what you just on your spirit right now and talk to us because we're listening. I got No Greater Love playing in the background. I love that song. You talk to them, it's talking to me. And, we're going to be playing throughout the rest of the 10 minutes that you're talking. We're going to be putting on the rest of your songs and just let it play through. So, talk about this album, where you were, where you're going, what you want to do, and talk to us.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I just pray that we understand that the end time is real. This is the time that Grandma talked about when we were kids, and great-grandmama talked about, and then our mothers talked about it, and now we're grown. And I remember being a kid going, okay, Grandma, you talk about the end time, and it ain't ended yet. Okay, is it going to end? But we are really living in the pages. We are really in the pages of the end time. But I pray that we get one thing. The end just means the beginning. It is the end of a reign that was ungodly. And now the Father said a new heaven and a new earth would descend upon the face of this earth. And we will live in the presence of the Most High. We will do new things. We will see new things. We will live in the ordinance that was created for us in the garden when He first created this whole thing. So I pray that when we hear the end time, we don't take on the spirit of fear, because God hasn't given us the spirit of fear. Power, love, a sound mind. You have to be assured that our Father is who He says He is. And you have to apply every word that He spoke. So therefore, we have to put our hearts and our minds into understanding and knowing what He said to be able to apply it. So that's really where we should be in this end time. I love the fact that I'm alive in the end. I know that the Most High is calling those home, that their hour has come. But there are those of us that will remain. See, it's okay. He's putting them to sleep, that He knows who can handle it and who can't. He knows who has how much of Him that have it. And there are doses, there are realms, and there are dimensions in Him. So when you understand that, some have to go to sleep now. And it might hurt us in the flesh, but we going to wake up. He said the dead in Christ are going to rise. So we got so much glory, beauty to look forward to, that even though tears have been running down my face for weeks now, I can promise you, I already know I see myself on the other side. I see the victory. I see the love. I see the prosperity, but I see it in the spirit. You got to see it in the spirit. You got to know it before you experience it. That's what faith is all about. You got to know it, and you got to see it before you see it. You got to see it in your mind's eye. It's like God saw the ending before the beginning, and then He backed up and said, it's all good. It's all good. And you have to use that. We're created in that image. So you have to see Him. The end says, the end says, I rise with all power in my hand because of His spirit. It says that I will live ever after, happily with my Father. My Savior will reign forever and ever. It's those kind of things that keeps me going when it is tough like it is right now. And I know I'm not the only one, but I'm glad that I can say it by the word of my testimony shall I and others overcome. And that's where we need to be. Share your song, your story with one another to be an edification to the body. I pray that we all understand we win. We win in the end, family. We win. And I love you, and I can't wait to get back to you next Friday.
Well, we can't wait for you to get back. Like I said, I've just been sitting there just shelling on this one here. We're playing The Return right now. And, I mean, the music just talks to you. When you find music that talks to you, that's what you do. You just play it. And that's what we're doing right now.
That's a him song right there. I know that's my girl's song. I just want to say thank you to both of you because in 20 years almost of knowing you, you guys never stopped loving me, believing in me, supporting me. And I don't want to wait till something happens to me or anybody else to tell you. I don't want you to hear it in the writing. I want you to hear it from me while blood is warm in my veins. That you know that I love you. I appreciate you both. Dr. Maxie, I love you. I adore you. I thank God for you. You know you are a diamond that was hidden in our hood just for us to get better, know better, and do better. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for you all, and I just love you.
To come out and see you perform.
I know.
Oh yes, it's just a matter of time. You know, that's what we're going to do. We put some things together. We can't drop it for everybody to see right now because it'd be too much for them and overwhelm people sometimes. But we got some things in the work. You know how that is. God is continuing to let this message go, and you got a great message. We'll continue to play this music. When you get back, we're just going to step it to the next level. In fact, you're going to be doing your show next Wednesday. You do your television show on Wednesdays, every Wednesday live at 5:30 to 6. So we'll be doing Relationship Rebirth is the name of the show, and with Makita and her friends. So I look forward to directing you on that one there, working with you on that package there. So, you know, thanks for showing up and showing out today, although it's on the phone. But that's okay, because we'll be looking forward to seeing you next week right here on the seat beside us. Okay, so thanks again. Love you. Give hugs and kisses to little girl for us. She's stepping right up in your footsteps.
Yeah, she's out here too. She's been her mom's rider. She's right here holding my hand every step of the way.
God is so good. He just gives you what we need when we need it. That little hand hold, sometimes that little squeeze, is sometimes that thing we need to just take us all the way where we need to go. So thank you for being you. We love you. We look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday coming up and next Friday here on the Gospel Jazz Connection. Thank you, baby.
All right. God bless. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.
All right. God bless.
All right.
Bye-bye, family.
Okay. Miss him. Here we go. So, what's going on? Here we go. Another day in the neighborhood, man. Another great show.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we had a very good show today. It was a lot of good information that our community can use, especially with Dr. Maxie. And the message that Makita just gave us was very inspiring and very encouraging to us. And I always look forward to doing this show.
Yeah, it's a good time when you get to a chance to just sit back and work with people that you know that you want to work with. I mean, for years I've worked with people I had to work with. I know you could say the same thing.
Yes.
And it's a difference when you're working with people that you want to work with. You know what I'm saying? There's no substitute, because the ones you want to work with give you that that feeling at the end of the day, like, I did something I wanted to do. Yeah, I accomplished something. Yeah. But when you're working with people that you have to work with, you know, sometimes you're like, Lord, you know, help me not to kill them. Yeah, let me not have to kill them. But in the last moment, go ahead, Ms. M, and just give us those parting words you have for us in a minute. Just wrap this up.
Well, I'm just hoping that you guys enjoyed the show as I did, and I look forward to next week, and hopefully I'll see you at some of these festivals. Now, there is a barbecue festival next week out in Long Beach if you guys like barbecue.
Okay, so what's the name of that one?
It's called the Barbecue Festival.
Okay, just like that, so they get what they get.
Long Beach,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
And it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, great. So that's you heard it here from Miss M, and believe me, she knows where all the barbecue pits are hidden. Okay,
yes.
And all the concerts are hidden. So it's a good thing. So a shout out to Miss Lady D doing that work. She's good. She just got back in the city. She does our music report. So we look forward to having her back on the air with us again. She's back. Lady D, shout out to you. God bless you. We love you, and looking forward to having you back on the air. So this is D Nice saying we had a great day. Time to hear about the new technologies in science and how we can have a chance now. Whatever we need or whatever our budget is, there's somebody looking out for us. So thanks to Dr. Maxie. So from the Gospel Jazz Connection here, from Miss M, from Miss Makita, from Lady D, from Dr. Maxie, from all of us, like I say each and every week, put God first, and everything else will follow. I guarantee it. This is D Nice leaving you with The Return with Makita. See you next week.
Peace.